Why do Sigma males go silent? Why do they ignore people, even the ones closest to them? Ever been ghosted so hard you thought the person moved to another galaxy? Imagine this: a room buzzing with small talk, social climbing, and loud performances for attention, and then there's the Sigma male. Calm, silent, observing, almost like he's operating on a different wavelength. He's not rude, he's not broken, he's intentional. Sigma males go silent because silence is power. Studies in psychology show that introverts, especially those with high emotional intelligence, often withdraw not to escape, but to process. For Sigma males, silence is a weapon, a way to reset, reflect, and redirect their energy. They ignore people not to hurt them, but to protect themselves. Their peace is non-negotiable. They don't engage in drama, manipulation, or fake friendships. They step back to stay aligned with their mission, not to seek approval. Sometimes, silence is louder than words. Sigma males know that. And once you understand that too, you'll realize that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means being in control. Point 1. They've mastered the art of silence. Sigmas aren't the type to fill every silence with words. They understand that silence is a form of communication. In a world where everyone's trying to out-talk each other to gain attention, Sigmas take a different route. They observe, they listen, they analyze. While others speak to impress, Sigmas stay quiet to assess the situation, measure the energy, and understand who's real and who's just making noise. Psychologically, silence can be more impactful than speech. Studies in nonverbal communication show that silence can trigger discomfort, especially in people who are insecure or hiding something. That's why when a Sigma is quiet, it often exposes the truth about those around them. Sigmas have mastered this art. Their silence isn't ignorance, it's intelligence. It's a power move that unsettles manipulators and exposes the fake. It's not passive, it's intentional. And when a Sigma ignores you, don't always take it personally. Often, it's strategic. It's how they protect their energy and maintain control of their environment. Because real strength doesn't shout. It doesn't beg for attention. It remains calm, confident, and calculated. Sigmas know that the loudest one in the room isn't always the most powerful. The quiet one watching usually is. Point 2. They don't owe anyone their energy. Here's the truth, Sigmas. Your energy is sacred. You've got dreams to chase, goals to achieve, and peace of mind that deserves protection. Sigma males aren't cold or heartless. They're just deeply aware of their energy. They've learned that not everyone should have access to their time or attention. In a world full of noise, drama, and distraction, they choose silence, solitude, and clarity. Think about it. Emotionally draining people are everywhere. Those who complain constantly, stir up drama, or use manipulation to get attention. Psychologists even refer to these individuals as emotional vampires, because they suck the life out of those around them. Sigmas see through it. That's why they withdraw, disappear, or go ghost, not out of malice, but as an act of self-preservation. You don't pour clean water into a dirty cup. Likewise, Sigma males won't waste energy where it's not appreciated or respected. Being selective is not arrogance, it's emotional intelligence. It's about choosing peace over performance, and solitude over shallow connections. In the end, this isn't about ignoring people. It's about prioritizing purpose, guarding energy, and walking away from anything that threatens your inner calm. Because real strength is in knowing when not to engage. Point 3. Drama, not today, not ever. Let's keep it 100. Most people thrive on drama like it's their daily dose of caffeine. Gossip, backstabbing, emotional outbursts. It's a social sport for some. But Sigma males? They're wired differently. They're not emotionally unavailable. They're just emotionally selective. Drama isn't entertaining to them, it's draining. Here's the real deal. Studies in psychology show that constant exposure to emotional conflict raises cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone. High cortisol over time leads to burnout, anxiety, and even physical illness. Sigmas understand this on an instinctive level. That's why they avoid drama like it's a disease, because in many ways it is. When someone constantly brings chaos, confusion, and conflict, a Sigma sees the pattern. They don't argue. They don't try to fix it. They vanish. Just like Batman. No scene, no speech, just silence. Why? Because peace is more than a luxury. It's a necessity. Sigmas treat their mental space like sacred ground. They don't let anyone trample through it just to satisfy emotional immaturity. Their mindset is simple. Protect your energy or someone else will drain it. That's why you'll often find them alone, calm, and centered. Because peace, to a Sigma, is power. Point 4. They've outgrown small talk. You ever had a conversation that felt like chewing cardboard? That's small talk for a Sigma male. These men aren't being rude when they seem uninterested. They're just wired differently. Sigmas crave depth, not surface-level chatter. They're not looking for, "so how's the weather?" energy. They want conversations that challenge their intellect, stir their spirit, or explore meaning. Psychologically, Sigma males often exhibit high levels of introspection and independence. According to personality typology, they closely align with introverted intuitive types, like INFJs or INTPs, who prefer meaningful, thought-provoking dialogue over social rituals. So when a Sigma zones out or walks away, it's not about ego, it's about nourishment. Their soul is hungry for authenticity, not empty noise. They don't do fake laughs, forced small talk, or shallow friendships. In fact, studies in social psychology show that people who seek depth in conversation tend to form stronger, more fulfilling relationships. That's the Sigma code. If a conversation doesn't spark thought, inspire growth, or connect to something real, they'll politely disappear. No drama, just clarity. To a Sigma, silence is better than small talk. They don't fear being alone. They fear wasting time on what doesn't matter. Point 5. Boundaries over approval. Here's where most people mess up. They trade their boundaries for approval. They sacrifice self-respect just to be liked. But Sigmas? Never. Sigma males understand a powerful truth. Your boundaries protect your peace, your energy, and your future. They don't ignore people out of arrogance or to offend anyone. They do it to defend their mental space. If someone crosses the line once, it might be a slip. But twice? That's a pattern. And Sigmas don't stick around for a third round of disrespect. They vanish, blocked, deleted, gone. Psychology backs this up. Studies show that people with firm personal boundaries have higher self-esteem and less stress. Sigmas live by this. They don't need conflict. They simply remove themselves from toxic environments, quietly, instantly. To a Sigma, boundaries aren't brick walls. They're gates. Gates that open with trust and close with disrespect. And they guard that gate with intention because they know one simple truth. Your future is shaped by what you tolerate. And Sigmas, they tolerate nothing that costs them their peace, power, or purpose. Point 6. They're purpose-driven, not people-driven. Here's a hard pill to swallow. Not everyone can come with you where you're going. And that's perfectly okay. Sigma males understand this better than most. Why? Because their focus is razor-sharp. They operate with tunnel vision, locked in on their goals, purpose, and personal evolution. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. These men aren't trying to win popularity contests. Studies in psychology show that high performers often sacrifice social approval to pursue meaningful goals. Sigma males embody this. If someone's presence disrupts their progress, they won't hesitate to cut ties. Not out of malice, but out of necessity. They're not offended by criticism. They're offended by distraction. Sigma males live by a simple code. If you're not aligned with the mission, the vision, or the grind, you're not part of the journey. Purpose-driven living means you stop chasing attention and start chasing excellence. And when you do, you'll find that silence is louder than noise. Discipline replaces validation. And not everyone deserves a front-row seat to your growth. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. And clarity is power. Point 7. Loyalty is earned, not given. Sigmas don't ignore people for no reason. When they pull away, it's because someone has shown their true colors. For a Sigma, loyalty is not just a word, it's a core value, something they live by every day. But when that loyalty is betrayed, that's a different story. Trust, once broken, cannot be easily repaired, and for a Sigma, trust is everything. When someone proves themselves untrustworthy, A Sigma will distance themselves, no questions asked. It's not about holding grudges or seeking revenge, it's about maintaining the integrity of their boundaries. Sigmas understand the importance of self-preservation and emotional clarity. They don't engage in drama or emotional manipulation. They have no time for pity parties or rehashing past wrongs. Unlike others who might give second chances or try to mend relationships that have been broken, Sigmas don't waste their energy. They would rather be alone than be surrounded by fake love or people who don't have their best interests at heart. Loyalty for them is sacred, and once it's lost, there's no turning back. It's a lifestyle, not a convenience, and the Sigma will walk away from any situation that threatens their peace and trust. So, Sigmas, why do you ignore people? Because your time, your energy, and your future are too valuable to waste. You're not here to entertain drama. You're not here to fake smile. You're not here to be accessible to everyone. You're here to rise, to grow, to protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Let them call you cold. Let them call you distant. Let them call you whatever they want. Just make sure they call you unstoppable. Having said this, Sigmas, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and join this elite community of purpose-driven men. Keep applying those Sigma traits to your life and keep rising above the noise. Because your silence, it's the loudest flex there is.